I don't know who told you owned this, but they're full of shit.
We've owned this for like 50 years.
You do not own this.
Yep.
Well, it's October 27th. I just jumped a really nice buck about 45 minutes ago.
Late October on public land isn't about waiting for perfect conditions. It's about knowing when to press the advantage. This is the stretch of the season where pressure is high, but bucks are starting to slip. The pre-rut is building, routines loosen, and mature deer begin making small mistakes that don't happen earlier in the fall. And this is when disciplined aggression pays off. I've been grinding hard this season, more sits, more miles, and on top of that, trying to film hunts without letting the camera dictate decisions. That balance matters because late October doesn't allow hesitation. Filming adds another layer of complexity. You're still managing wind, access, and timing, but now you're thinking about angles, light, batteries, and movement. It forces you to be more intentional and more efficient, not slower. Yesterday, I bumped a buck at close range. He didn't blow, he didn't explode out of the area. He stood up, took a few mounds, and eased off. The kind of reaction you see from a buck that's comfortable but starting to move more in daylight. That told me exactly what phase we're in, and that it was time to get aggressive. When a mature buck reacts like that, it usually means one thing. He feels safe, but pressure had changed this area. Flooding from duck hunts pushed bedding around. Old onyx pins weren't lining up anymore. Spots that used to hold deer were empty. A new sign was popping up in places most guys walk right past.
All right, guys, I am at my boat. I left it here for a couple days. Had some rain coming in and the wind just wasn't good to hunt this spot. So I've been working and doing other things the last couple days, but the boat's still here. The river's a lot higher, which is gonna work out in our favor.
That's where late October gets dangerous in a good way. This is when you either sit back and hope, or you get aggressive and try to cut off a mistake. So today I'm hunting the adjustment. Not where deer used to be, but where they had to go once pressure shifted. Fresh tracks, big tracks, still moving through here. That's the kind of detail that keeps you honest.
That is one huge scrape right there. I'm in this little oak thicket and just kind of cruising around seeing what I could find. Pretty nice scrape so far. I'm gonna keep going.
By midday, the wind was doing what it always does on public, blowing every direction at once. So instead of forcing a bad sit, I started still hunting this river bottom.
So it's starting to rain a little bit. Had that dirty rotten coyote here this morning, eating a doe over there. I just went up there and looked at what it was, making sure it wasn't some giant buck. But so I think I'm gonna make a move. It's 11:17, so I probably sat here 2 hours, but with that coyote running around, I don't like it. I don't like his smell being everywhere. I tried to wait and kill him, but he got within 70 yards, but he was moving, and they're hard as heck to kill, especially with a bow. But when I lived in Alaska, when we were hunting blacktail deer up there, when the wolves would move in, you know, later in the winter, later in the season, we'd always kind of start getting close to town or getting close to like a cabin or something like that, because it'd kind of keep them wolves at bay. So I'm gonna try to get up here. There's some ag up here on some CRP that's public that kind of goes into some ag, so I'm gonna work this river bank into the wind and see what I see, try to find some good sign, try to get set up over something pretty decent. You know, who knows, might bump and dump today. So I'm gonna finish getting this stand packed up and head on out of here.
I ended up seeing multiple bucks, nothing I was going to shoot, but enough to tell me deer were on their feet in daylight, and that's important. Midday movement in late October doesn't happen by accident. It's usually tied to pressure, food shifts, or bedding changes, and all three were in play here. Then things changed fast. I want you to check something out. If you're hunting public land, I just put out a video, 12 steps to success for hunting late season deer. Stuff most hunters miss entirely. I'll link it right here in the corner on YouTube. Watching that next video will give you the field perspective to actually put some of what we're talking about today into action. And if you're serious about getting an edge, I've got another video on this channel where I show how to hunt deer from the ground with a bow in late season. It's crazy how the same algorithms are creeping into both. Watching that right after this will give you a full picture of how to hunt smarter and not just harder. So keep your finger ready to click. The next video on YouTube could completely change how you think about hunting public land this season. And if you guys want to check out some other creators I follow, check out Rowdy Mowdy Outdoors. He's got some great content, and I believe he's from Pennsylvania. I'm not quite sure. And then we got Wally Gator Films Outdoors. He's a fellow union brother. I believe he's IBEW. He's got some really good content. You guys need to check him out. And that just goes to show you that electricians and carpenters can get along. And last but not least today, we have the Whitetail Syndicate. And he's got some really good content. Some of you might have seen his video Dagger. So any 17-year-old that can go on public land and kill a monster like that is definitely going to get my follow. Well, same content. If you guys want to check out some new creators with the same kind of content in the same niche, check these guys out. They put out some really good videos. A man walked up from the edge of the field and told me I was hunting his land. Not calmly, not curious.
You don't own this. This is public, right here.
To the river.
Straight to claiming ownership of the public ground.
This is public. I can pull it up on the map. Let me grab my phone. I don't know who told you you owned this, but they're full of shit.
We've owned this for like 50 years.
You do not own this.
Yep.
Well, you better call fucking DNR, because they say it's public.
Do they?
$139 acres. From fucking English Lake all the way down there. Wildlife management area.
Alright. This field is ours though. Tap the field.
Ain't nobody hunting the field, bud. And according to them, this corner of this green is public.
Alright.
I would get in touch with them, and they'll have to redraw the map.
Alright.
This is something every public land hunter eventually deals with. And when you're alone without cell service, how you handle this moment matters more than being right. First thing, I stayed calm. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult him. I didn't match his energy. I pulled up my mapping app and showed him exactly where we were standing. Property lines, public boundary, acreage, everything. That's when you stop arguing. You don't need to win the conversation. You need to leave it safely. I explained that according to state records, this ground is public, and if there's a discrepancy, the DNR needs to resolve it. Not us, not out here, not face to face. Then I disengaged. If you hunt public land long enough, this will happen to you, especially in rural areas with spotty service. Here's how to handle it when you're alone and offline. 1, stay calm and neutral. Never escalate, never insult, never threaten. That only makes things worse. 2, don't argue ownership emotionally. Show the map once. If they reject it, stop debating. You are not the authority, the state is. 3, never follow them deeper or allow them to corner you. Always keep an open exit route. 4, do not trespass out of fear. Leaving public land and crossing onto private to diffuse a situation can actually create legal problems for you. 5, document mentally, not aggressively. Remember clothing, location, time, and landmarks. Don't film unless it's safe to do so. 6, state your plan clearly. I'm going to continue hunting public land, or I'll leave and contact the DNR to sort it out. Then disengage. Most of these situations end once someone realizes you know your rights and aren't there to cause trouble.
That was my first turkey with a bow. I'm not sure if it was a Jenny or a Jake, but I can kill either sex right now.
This hunt wasn't about killing a deer. It was about adapting to pressure, recognizing late October movement, and handling a situation the right way, even when emotions are high. Public land belongs to all of us, but with that comes responsibility, knowing boundaries, respecting neighbors, and keeping confrontations from becoming something worse. Late October forces you to make decisions fast, in hunting and in life. Sometimes the win is walking away with knowledge, not antlers. If you hunt public land, you've either dealt with this or you will. Subscribe if you value honest, experience-based hunting content. Drop a comment if you've had a boundary issue before, and check out my books linked below if you want deeper public land strategy built from real hunts like this. And check out this video in the corner. YouTube thinks you'll like it.